Since God is a healer, everything He made has some healing virtue in it, and therefore, God's healing can come to you in many ways: nutritious food, clean water, fresh air, and sunshine all promotes good health. Many sicknesses can be overcome simply by taking in these healthy nutritions God has provided us for. Now let's take a look at the healing foods from the Bible. Number 1. Pomegranates. In Deuteronomy 8:8, it is stated that a land with wheat and barley, vines and fig trees, pomegranate, olive oil, and honey. In Song of Solomon 8:2, it is stated as, I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house, who would instruct me. I would cause thee to drink of spiced wine of the fruit of my pomegranate. Pomegranates are one of the earliest cultivated fruits dating back to 3000 BC. They have now become the new superfood. One pomegranate delivers 40% of an adult's daily vitamin C requirement. It boosts the DNA health. It protects people from getting cancer and heart diseases. Number 2. Olives. In James 5:14, it is stated as, Is any one of you sick? He should call the elders of the church to pray over him and anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord. In 2 Kings 18:32, it is stated as, Until I come and take you to a land like your own, a land of grain and new wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of olive trees and honey. The olive was one of the most valuable and versatile trees of biblical times. It is mentioned frequently throughout the Bible. Probably the most famous reference to olive oil and its healing powers is in the parable of the Good Samaritan, in which the Samaritan cares for a beaten and robbed traveler, treating his wounds with oil and wine. Olive oil mixed with wine was even used to soften and soothe bruises and wounds. The known benefits of olive oil includes it helps to lower the blood cholesterol, it reduces the wear and tear of aging on the tissues, it reduces the gastric acidity, it protects against ulcers and aids the passage of food through the intestines. Number 3. Honey. In 1 Samuel 14:27, it is stated as, But Jonathan had not heard that his father had bound the people with the oath. So he reached out the end of the staff that was in his hand and dipped it into the honeycomb. He raised his hand out of his mouth, and his eyes brightened. And in 2 Samuel 17:29, it says, Honey and curds, sheep and cheese from cow's milk for David and his people to eat. For they said, The people have become hungry and tired and thirsty in the desert. In Genesis 43:11, it is stated as, Then their father Israel said to them, If it must be, then do this. Put some of the best products of the land on your backs and take them down to a man as a gift, a little balm and a little honey, some spices and myrrh, some pistachio nuts and almonds. Number 4. Grapes. In Numbers 13:23, it is stated as, When they reached the valley of Eshcol, they cut off a branch bearing a single cluster of grapes. 2 of them carried it on a pole between them, along with some pomegranates and figs. In Genesis 9:20, it says, Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. Grapes were the first thing Noah planted after the flood. Grapes were eaten fresh, dried and eaten as raisins, just as we do today, and pressed into cakes. However, most of the crop of the vineyards was made into juice, wine, and vinegar. A cup of raw grapes contains only 58 calories, zero point 0.3 grams of fat, 0 cholesterol, and vitamins A, B, and C. Grapes also contain important minerals such as boron, calcium, potassium, and zinc. It helps to fight different types of diseases like cancer, heart disease, degenerative nerve disease, and other alignments. And it also helps to support the immune system and maintains weight loss. Number 5. Wheat. Jeremiah 41:8 states that, "But 10 of them said to Ishmael, 'Don't kill us. We have wheat and barley, oil and honey, hidden in a field.' So he let them alone and did not kill them with the others." In Ezekiel 4:9 it says, "Take wheat and barley, beans and lentils, millet and spelt, put them in a storage jar, and use them to make bread for yourself. You are to eat it during the 390 days you lie on your side." Biblical people ate their grain boiled and parched, soaked and roasted, and even ate it green from the stalk. It was pounded dry or crushed to be baked into casseroles, porridge, soups, parched grain, salads, and desserts. Ezekiel's bread was intended to be a survival food during the dark days of the Babylonian conquest because it contained wheat, barley, beans, lentils, millet, and spelt. Wheat bran is high in insoluble fiber. The fiber protects us from constipation. It helps prevent intestinal infections. It also improves bowel functions and guards us against colon cancer. Number 6. Fish. In Leviticus 11:9-12, it is stated as, "Of all the creatures living in the water of the seas and the streams, you may eat any that have fins and scales, but all creatures in the sea or streams that do not have fins and scale, whether among all the swarming things or among all the other living creatures in the water, you are to detest. And since you are to detest them, you must not eat their meat, and you must detest their carcasses. Anything living in the water that does not have fins and scale is to be detestable to you." In Deuteronomy 14:9 it says, "Of all the creatures living in the water, you may eat any that has fins and scales." Fish is low in cholesterol and contains healthy polyunsaturated fats. Fish is a high source of protein, potassium, vitamins, and minerals with only a moderate amount of sodium. Consuming fish lowers the blood pressure, combats early kidney diseases, and it relieves migraines, reduces risk of heart attack and stroke, and it protects the arteries from damage. The key to the healing powers of fish lies in the omega-3 fatty acids. Number 7. Figs. In 1 Samuel 30:11-12 it is stated as, "They found an Egyptian in a field and brought him to David. They gave him water to drink and food to eat, part of a cake of pressed figs and 2 cakes of raisins. He ate and was revived, for he had not eaten any food or drunk any water for 3 days and 3 nights." The fig has been cultivated for thousands of years and offers a powerhouse for nutrition. Figs have the highest overall mineral content of all common fruits. Number 8. Beans. In Ezekiel 4:9 it is stated as, "Take wheat and barley, beans and lentils, millet and spelt, put them in a storage jar, and use them to make bread for yourself. You are to eat it during the 390 days you lie on your side." And in 2 Samuel 17:28-29 it is stated, "Brought bedding and bowls and articles of pottery. They also brought wheat and barley, flour and roasted grain, beans and lentils, honey and curds, sheep and cheese from cow's milk for David and his people to eat. As reported in the book of Samuel, beans were among the highly nutritious food sent to feed King David's hungry army and restore their strength for the hard times ahead. Beans have a lot of soluble fiber which helps lower LDL and reduce blood pressure. The fiber also helps keep blood sugar levels stable, stave off hunger, and even reduce the insulin requirements of people suffering from diabetes. Beans are a great source of protein as well as being packed full of vitamin C, iron, and dietary fiber. Number 9. Apples. Song of Solomon 2:5 it is stated as, "Strengthen me with raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am faint with love." Apples are considered to be the all-around health food. Like most other fruits, apples contain vitamin C and a host of other antioxidant compounds. And the fiber in the fruit helps keep the bowel healthy. It's a good idea to eat apples with their skin, as almost half the vitamin C content is underneath the skin. They help stabilize blood sugar, an important factor in controlling diabetes. They suppress the appetite without robbing the body of necessary nutrients. Number 10. Aloe Vera. John 19:39 it is stated as, "And there came also Nicodemus, which at the first came to Jesus by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and olive, about 100 pound weight." Aloe vera is known to have medicinal properties, often referred to as a pharmacy in a plant. Traditionally, it is used externally to relieve skin discomforts and damage, and internally as a laxative. Oli is also used orally to treat a number of conditions such as diabetes, asthma, epilepsy. It soothes the skin, eases pain, and it helps speed up the healing recovery process. Make sure to comment down one of your favorite healing foods in the Bible.